I wonder what her life was like before it all started to fall apart. One of the most obvious indications that she has led a less than stellar life is the fact that she only has 3 teeth in her mouth, one of them broken, all of them brown, her gums inflamed and spotted with pockets of infection. It's a classic example of meth mouth, and the methamphetamine abuse has also left red, scabby sores on her face. There are pockets of festering infection tracking down both of her arms and along one foot, evidence of an IV drug habit. It's an all too common story of drug use and abuse. Heroin, sometimes laced with other narcotics to mellow out, and methamphetamine to amp back up again. Both are highly addictive and horribly destructive. How she died appears obvious, though it's not what one might expect at first glance. It wasn't the drugs, an infection, or malnutrition that killed her. There are 5 stab wounds in her torso, each one deep with bruising around the wounds to indicate that the hilt of the knife came into brutal contact with the skin. 2 of the wounds are located just above her breasts, the left one, likely the cause of death, over the heart. There are 2 more wounds in her abdomen at the same height as her navel, about 6 inches apart. The final wound is centered in the lower abdomen, just above the symphysis pubis. All the wounds appear deep enough to have reached and injured underlying organs, but none of them, other than the one by the heart, were likely to be fatal, at least not immediately. Based on the bloodstains and a cursory examination of the surrounding tissue, all the wounds appear to have been inflicted while she was still alive, and her blood was still pumping. She was stabbed through her clothing, and there are 2 denim fibers from her jeans embedded in the right-sided chest wound, suggesting that the single wound in the pelvic area was inflicted first. Notably lacking are any of the defense wounds typically seen in a stabbing like this, slashes and cuts on the forearms, hands, and fingers as the victim tries desperately to ward off the knife blows. Someone really didn't like this woman, I say to Izzy, who is across the autopsy table from me. He is standing on a stool, which enables him to reach everything he needs to, because he is barely over 5 feet tall. I, on the other hand, need no such accommodation, as I have a full foot of height over him. I hit 5'12", it sounds shorter that way, at the age of 12, earning monikers like Giraffe, Beanstalk, Amazon, and my personal favorite, Timber, which some of my schoolmates would holler at me whenever they passed me in the hall. This is because I have very large feet that made me clumsy back in the day. Okay, they still tend to make me clumsy at times, but you try walking around on snowshoes all day and see how well you do. The size thing also led to the nickname Sasquatch, a version of which my husband has adopted for his own, calling me Squatch as a form of endearment. I should probably be offended. However, the way the name typically rolls off his tongue with a ton of love and a hint of lust behind it makes it easy to tolerate. Izzy and I are the yin and yang of co-workers. He's short and I'm tall. He's swarthy and I'm fair-skinned. He's dark-haired and I'm a pale blonde. Despite the physical differences, we are a lot alike in the way we think and function, right down to our shared predilection for men. It has made us the best of friends and great colleagues. How old do you think she is? I ask.
Hard to say,
Izzy says, straightening up from his close exam of the wounds. He arches his back and lets out a little sigh. Are you okay?
I'm fine,
he says dismissively.
Just a bit of a backache. One of the many joys of getting older.
He studies the woman's face for a moment.
I'd guess our victim is late 20s or early 30s,
he says after a bit.
Can't be very precise with the level of damage to her body. Hopefully your husband can come up with an ID for her soon.
No doubt Hurley was currently working hard on that very thing, even though the body was dumped in a location outside of his typical jurisdiction. There is a lot of overlap on this sort of thing.